Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. And today I want to show you real quick the bunk curtains on Battleship New Jersey. This style of bunks on the battleship was added during her 1980s commissioning. They existed in the Navy a little bit earlier than that, and they replaced the older pipe racks. Those pipe racks were suspended from the overhead by chains, and they didn't give sailors any privacy or storage space. These types of coffin racks give you both storage space in that there's a compartment underneath of here. So if I wasn't laying in this bed, we could open it up and it has a large locker type area. And it gives you privacy in that 5 of the 6 sides are plated over. And the side where you get in has a privacy curtain like this. Now these curtains are cool. They're usually made out of Nomex or another fireproof fabric. So if there's a fire in this space, these won't burn. They'll just smolder and make a horrible toxic smoke that'll suffocate you. But that's okay, because by the time Battleship New Jersey comes into service in the 80s, they add emergency escape breathing devices. Those are those Kleenex box looking things with the orange handhold in them. And those have a hood inside of it that you can put over your head. They'll give you 15 minutes of air. Now, that's neither here nor there. On more modern styles of the coffin rack, those are literally built into the bed as opposed to like aftermarket bolted on like the ones you see on New Jersey. But these curtains are really cool, and museum ships don't really have a lot of them because they're kind of finicky. Using them, each bed would have 2. This one you can see we only have 1 in. But if you look up here, you can see that there is a rail that the curtain slides on. And this rail has a cutaway at one end where you can slide the curtain in. And the curtain is just this fabric piece, and it's wrapped around a real little plastic tab here. And that tab is what slots into the rail and gives this enough rigidity to not just pull out. Or at least that's what it's supposed to do. These things get old, they get worn out. Remember, you're on a ship for a year or 2 years, and then somebody else takes this bunk, and then somebody else after them, and it's like a rented mule. And so these disintegrate pretty quickly. We pick them up whenever we can on open house trips, or strip trips as we call them, where the Navy opens up active ships and we're able to take these off of them. But even so, we've got less than 10% of what the ship should have. Some of the berthing compartments have a few out as examples so you can see what it's like, but most of the berthing compartments are just empty, and you don't get that idea. If you happen to work for the company that makes these curtains, please let us know. These curtains on board New Jersey, we've seen pictures of them in 2 different colors. Blue is the only one we have an example of right now. That seems to be the more prevalent color in the late 80s and so on. But we've also seen pictures that they exist in like a golden yellowish color. And we don't have any of them, but my assumption is they're made exactly the same. It's just a different color fabric. On board New Jersey, we've got these in a couple of the exhibit spaces, a couple of the areas that self-guided guests will walk through on the tour route, but we do not have any in the berthing compartments where we host our overnight program. It's the same kind of beds as this one I'm in. We just don't have any of these curtains down there. That overnight program is open and available to families or groups. There's a link in the description below if you'd like to inquire about them. Winter is normally our busy season, so you could book as soon as for the next couple of months. And summer's our slow season, but then starting up next fall, it starts to get busy again. Have you ever slept on a ship before? Either in the Navy, during an overnight program, or even a cruise ship? I'd love to know how these beds compare to cruise ship beds, but I cannot sail on a cruise ship. I watched Poseidon Adventure way too young. R.I.P. Roddy McDowell. But if you've slept in a bed on a ship, let us know in the comment section down below what your experience was. My best night's sleep ever on a ship actually was on a submarine. Don't ask me why. But Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. There's a link in the description below for ways you can donate to support the museum. You can also support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find out about the museum and our channel. Thanks for watching.